Hey everyone, it's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Welcome back to another video. Would you believe me if I told you that I have thousands of dollars worth of merchandise here that I obtained for zero, zilch, nada, and will be able to flip this all on eBay for 100% profit? It's true. I'm going to tell you how it happened, and the main way it happened is through networking. We talk a lot about hard work and hustle, and while that's important, it's also important to work smart and to network. So building bridges, building relationships with others, especially people who you source from. Very important. So you know from watching my haul videos, I go to all the traditional places. I go to garage sales, I go to estate sales, I go to rummage sales, flea markets, all that sorts of stuff. But when I'm there, I'm always on the lookout. Is there someone there who could be a long-term business associate of mine? Not that they're part of my business per se, but what I mean by that is there's somebody who I could build a relationship with that could be mutually beneficial. And the example I'm going to give you here has to do with collectibles. Now, for whatever it is that you sell, you're just going to have to just think of how you would apply it to your suppliers. But in this instance, it's a local supplier of mine who supplies me with collectibles, specifically comic books and comic book related items, but also some things outside of comic books, because it's not exclusively comic books, but it's primarily, that's what it is. And this is an example of what I'm going to show you in just a moment, which is a comic book related art print. And this is the Punisher right here. And as you can see, this is signed up top by John Hebert. John Hebert was a comic artist for Marvel in the 1990s. He did work on Punisher and other series. Now, he's not a super famous artist because he didn't stick with it forever. He actually is from the New York area, and he went and started to run for political office, and then he kind of got out of doing comic book art. And so since he's from the New York area, which is where I'm from, he's available more than he is in other places to sign pieces of art like this. Now, the thing I want to show you about this is not original art. In other words, this is not his actual sketch right there. It's a copy of it. I mean, he did draw it, but or played a role in drawing it, but this is not literally something that he actually just like sketched onto this particular piece of paper. It's a copy. You can see it's a thin sheet of paper right there, but it's designed to kind of look like up top, you know, what it would look like when they originally sketched it out on their original art pages and proof that they're going to submit to actually get published. So not only do I have this one, but as you're going to see here, there is a giant stack of these right here. And there are about 100 of them in here. I mean, they're super thin, and there's just so many. I'm going to show you some other examples of them in here, but there is just a ton of them in here. And I had seen these for about a year or more sitting in the location of this person who I go source from. Now, if you're familiar with my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center, you know of a place I refer to as my honey hole. That's where this material comes from. It's from that place. And if you've seen the pictures from it, you'll remember that there's basically multiple rooms that are, they're big rooms, and they're basically overflowing with boxes of comic books that are stacked up all over the place. And then there's all sorts of other, again, comic book related collectibles, you know, surrounding it. Now, I tend to go there about once a month. There's been times I've gone twice a month, but I'm more on a once a month schedule. And I've built a long-term relationship with this person over time. So this is the networking part I want to tell you about. So I generally spend between $150 and $300 there, sometimes a little bit more, but it's generally in that range. And the person gives me great deals. I mean, better than wholesale deals to liquidate some of the stuff that he has there. And he gets new things in because he's always buying collections. And so, you know, I take some of the stuff that he just doesn't want to deal with anymore. Now, I've got to be careful when I'm in there because sometimes his prices on things are high and it's not something that I want to purchase. Like he'll say, all right, well that over there, that's $5,000. And I say, okay, I know to stay away from that. Or there's some things that he literally just won't sell because he doesn't want to emotionally part with it. So I respect that and I know what those things are at this point, so I just stay away from it. So, but I had seen these for a long time, and anything signed, even though they are prints and they're not originals, I mean, if it was original, it would sell for a lot more than what I'm going to tell you it sells for. But the fact that these actual signatures are original, here's another one I'll show you right here. Like this is Ghost Rider, okay? And Ghost Rider is someone who you should know because you will see Ghost Rider in other forms, not just in comic books, but in toys and stuff. I just sold a bunch of them. But this is Ghost Rider as kind of like a Santa Claus figure in a Marvel Holiday Special from 1991. And you could see here, the signature is right down below from John Hebert. And I had seen these stacked up, and every single time I saw them, I just never got myself to ask him how much he would sell these to me for. Because my thought, and I don't normally think like this, but my thought process at the time was, he's just gonna want too much money for it, and it's just not gonna work out. So I just left them there. And this happened for about a year, until finally, one time, and this is last month, I went there and I said, you know what? I'm just going to try it. I started thinking about what my mentality normally is like. It doesn't hurt to try. And not only that, I have spent a lot of money with this person. Now, I make the money back, but still, I know I have a track record. I've established that bond, that relationship with them. I mean, literally, I would say that we're friends, and we call each other friends. We both like to metal detect, and we plan to go out and do that together, go out, get something to eat. So it's a really good relationship that has developed over time. And since that's been established, I feel more comfortable now asking him about something like this. And this is what I mean about networking. Like, it takes time for those things to evolve and flourish. And when they do, then you can get better deals. Sometimes incredible deals that might really surprise you. So what happened is I was buying a lot of other things, and the total for everything I bought that day came to $175. And these were all, sitting there. And I brought them up, and I put them up there, and asked him how much this would be as part of it. And he looked at them, and he said to me, you know what? He said, I'm just going to give you these. And I said, what? He goes, I'm just going to give them to you. He goes, I've had them sitting back there forever. He goes, long time ago I tried to sell them. They never sold. I don't really think they're going to sell because they're prints. He goes, you could have them. Good luck with them. I said, all right, thank you very much. I paid my $175, took these back. I had them sitting out for a while, for a few weeks, and then I finally got around to listing a few. So I list this, put this up, right? And one of the things that I did, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm saying to myself, well, if I could do a little bit of research on it and figure out exactly what comic book issue this panel came from, this splash page, it's like when you have one panel that takes up an entire page, you call that a splash page in comic books. I said, that'll probably help it sell a little bit more. And I remember seeing this panel when I was a kid, and it comes from the Punisher. That's the character, the Punisher there. It comes from the Punisher Annual number 4 from 1991, page 7. So if you have that comic book, flip to it, you'll see that page right there. So that's what it comes from. So when I listed it, I put that information in there. I didn't just say Punisher art print. I said Punisher art print, signed by John Hebert, 1991, volume 4, print, or number 4, page 7. And this is the only one I put up just to test it. I want to put a lot of work into all these other ones if they weren't going to sell. Well, turns out in less than 24 hours, sells for my asking price, $29.99. And it's very light and easy to ship. If you're wondering about how you ship something like this, very simple. There are 11 by 17, that's the dimensions. There are 11 by 17 art prints right here. So these are backing boards. And then there are 11 by 17 bags like this. And what you do is you just take one of the boards out and you just put it right here in the bag, which is the same exact thing that you would do with comic books. It's just the same thing as a comic book bag and board. It's just on a broader scale. And then when you put it in there like this, you just slide your print in here, and then you protect it with big pieces of cardboard. I get slip sheets from Costco, and you just cut them to size, tape around it, use the sandwich technique that I do, and they ship out first class. So if you do it that way, and I wrap giant size 24 by 24 polymailers around it. So links to the polymailers are in my bio link. If you well, I shouldn't say bio link, should just say the description section. I'm thinking Instagram. So anyway, you check that out, and I have the links down there, and you could go see that size polymailer plus other size polymailers that are helpful in wrapping around things like this so that they'll go first class. So it just costs about $3 to ship one of these prints. Now, in terms of obtaining these, really, I would tell you to get them at a comic book store, because this should cost you around $26, and those bags should cost you around $14. So around $40. If you don't want to do that, or you don't have a comic book store located near you, there's a deal they have on Amazon for the boards and the prints for $50, $49.99. I'll put a link to it down below in the description section. So if you want to check that out, I'll have it there. They are affiliate links, so I get a little commission off any of that stuff, help support the channel, that sort of stuff, but don't feel obligated to get anything like that. It's just there for convenience if you want it. Like I said, if you have a comic book store near you, that's where I'd go to get those types of things. But I wanted to tell you how to ship that, because every time I do these videos, someone asks me, well, how do you ship it? So I want to tell you how to ship it. But, so this one sells for $29.99. Okay, so then I put this one up. This is Ghost Rider. Comes from that holiday special, the Marvel holiday special, 1991. I put it up for $49.99, and person makes me an offer of $30. I counter in the middle, sells for $39.99 in less than 24 hours. Okay, so then, and as you could, those already shipped out, so I have extras of these. Okay, so, you know, like here you go. Here's like another one of these Punisher ones. But then, some of these are not from an actual comic book per se. They're just copies of sketches like this. This is the Thing. And you could see here, he signed it here. That's his print signature from '99, but that's the original signature right there. And the reason people pay for this, it is big. You could put in a frame, and something like this looks super cool in, you know, a man cave or a garage or some kind of tough guy area. People love to display stuff like this. So I put that up for $29.99. Within less than 24 hours, sells. So that's just those three, and they sold rapidly. And like I said, I have 100 or more of these things. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to slowly release them over time, because I don't want to flood the market with them. So, you know, I have different ones like here. You know, I have Nightcrawler. I have Batman related ones. Like this one's really cool. Like I have the Joker. And I'm showing you some of these just not only to show you which ones I have, but if anyone's interested and you want one of them, reach out to me. Like yesterday, Bunny Wilk, who's probably watching this, reached out to me. I did an Instagram video, which, by the way, if you're watching this on the 16th of February, it's only going to be up for 24 hours. I did a video in my Instagram stories where you could see a haul video, essentially, of the stuff that I wound up getting, comic books from that honey hole that I went to. So I went over those and reviewed them. And she bought a comic book from me from that, just privately. Just reach out to me, and you know, we could just, you know, I can make a little deal for you on the side. But we've got Captain America, we've got the Incredible Hulk, we've got, you know, another one of the Punisher. I'll just show you a couple more here. And every single one of them signed by the artist. How were they all signed by the artist? Well, I know the person who obtained the signatures. And when the guy was in town, I told you he's from New York, he paid him $1 to $2 per signature at the time. And the guy just came in, so he basically gave him like $100, and he said, hey, if you sign all these, I'll give you like $100 or something like that. And he signed them, and then he gave them to the person who sold them to me. But I happen to know who both of these people are, and that's how that's how they wound up getting passed on to me by purchasing them through that way. I mean, there's other ones. I mean, we've got Superman here, and each one of them I am gonna ask $29.99 at the minimum, and some of them I'll ask more for, like those Ghost Rider ones. Those are popular. So that's how I obtained all of these items for nothing. Now, when I say nothing, you got to remember, I did invest a lot of money with this person over time. So it's not like I just walked into this person's location and he just said, hey, take all this stuff. It doesn't work that way. Okay, but that's part of networking. You build up that relationship, you develop those bonds over time, and then person might say, hey, you know what? I've got this left over. I like you. You're coming in reliably. I mean, I religiously go once a month, religiously, sometimes twice. In fact, I just did my taxes. My number one area where I got my inventory last year was at this place. So, and I go to a lot of estate sales, but overall, like number one, this was the place. So that leads to important opportunities for you. And I've done that in other places. I've done that with estate sale dealers, building up relationships with them. You get special deals by doing that. So making important connections, even at garage sales, can lead to other opportunities for you. One of the Castle Grayskulls that I sold, I got through that, was through networking at a garage sale. So it's real important. Make sure you have a business card that will also help you with networking. You get them pretty inexpensively through Vistaprint. Now, just so you know, I did see this person yesterday, and he asked me, he said, hey, how did you do on these? And I said to him, I was honest, the worst thing you could do in that situation is lie and say, oh, I didn't put them up yet. And then he knows that you did because he saw it on your eBay. Now, if you do that, that is the worst thing you could do, because right then and there, all that hard work that you built up, you destroy it by lying. So don't do that. Just tell the truth. So I told him, I said, yeah, I put this first one up, that Punisher one, sold for $29.99. And he said, it did? I said, yep. Now, I'm sitting there waiting for him to likely say to me, all right, well, I didn't think they were going to sell. That's why I gave them to you for free. So they're about 100. I'm going to charge you about $5 a piece for them. Now, he did not do that, to his credit. He said, keep them. I was surprised, but in a way, but in another way, I wasn't surprised, because again, we've built up such a good relationship that he was just fine with just the way he was rationalizing it, is they've been sitting back there forever. I tried selling them once, it didn't sell. You helped me out a lot in my business by coming in every month, and you're a loyal customer. So here, take this, it's a gift to you. Basically, that's what it's like. That's pretty much it. I just want to pass that tip on to you. I hope that it's helpful. I'm very excited about this. I'm going to start listing some more, so you can also see them in my eBay store sometimes. I'll put some more up this weekend, that sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed it. If so, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe. Please pass this channel on to others. I'm really trying to grow it. Would love to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm only going to be able to do that if you pass this channel on to other people. It's really the only way it's going to happen. So I'm reliant on you to help me with that and help get the word out if you like the Primetime Treasure Hunter YouTube channel. So thank you very much for coming by, supporting me once again. Make sure you come over to my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. The link to that's down below. And also make sure you come over on Instagram. That's @prime_time_treasure. See you all at the next video, everyone. Take care.